think, Leander and myself have been approached multiple times to tell this story over the last 10 years. We were never very comfortable with the kind of narrative that was being spun around it, to be totally honest. It was a very emotionally difficult time for both of us, I'm sure. I mean, from my perspective, in 99, end of 99, I had surgery on my shoulder. Then coming right off that, we ended up splitting as a team. So there was a lot of stuff going on with me. I was like a volcano. I was absorbing everything I heard. And I erupted at, when I couldn't take it anymore. I think a lot of times I feel, when I heard things from third parties or from the newspapers, if I just picked up the phone and called Leander and clarified it directly with him, some of the issues could have been sorted. Lara obviously has a more logical perspective, because, we met after most of the drama had over, but so she's like you, she was only reading and hearing about it. When people say, would you like to be friends again? We see each other very often. So are we going to, go together on a holiday? I think that's very unlikely, but, we still have that bond that we created 20 years ago that I'm sure will live on.
So we have grown up watching and idolizing these two men whose life story will be spoken about and witnessed on screen in Breakpoint. I have one half of the terrific duo, the dynamic duo, Mahesh Bhupathi, joining me for a conversation only on Bollywood Bubble. Thank you, sir, for doing this. And like I said, that I'm a 90s child, so we have literally, for us, tennis has been both of you. So, when we see, I of course knew that there was a sad breakup in between. But when we see that, what pushed you to come out and speak about it or show it to the audience? Like, was it a difficult decision to make?
Yes, I think it was. I think, Leander and myself have been approached multiple times to tell this story over the last 10 years. We were never very comfortable with the kind of narrative that was being spun around it, to be totally honest. But when Nitesh and Ashwiny, when we heard rumors that Nitesh and Ashwiny would be interested, that kind of piqued our interest because, they have done sports films in the past with Panga and Dangal. And we were super surprised to notice when we spoke to them the first time. They were huge tennis fans. They really love the sport in so many different ways. And they gave us a lot of comfort on how they wanted to tell it, the kind of independent views they were going to allow us, I guess, which was important to tell the story, which would hopefully answer a lot of questions. And doing it in this format specifically, I mean, doing it in a film for the length of careers we had, I think also wouldn't have done it justice. So I think it all made sense for us, and that's why we agreed to do it.
You guys played together from 94, if I'm not wrong, to 2006. But you said that 1999 was the time when there was a crack in the relationship. What actually caused the crack? And how did you, when you are in a relationship and there are cracks, it's very difficult to even move ahead with the relationship of any kind. This is a professional and a personal relationship. How did you balance it both? Because you kept on playing together for a really long time, even after.
Yeah, we actually played from 94 to the end of 2011. This story culminates in 2006. But I mean, we had tremendous amount of success. We had a few lows in our career as well. There's no secret. But for you to totally understand why those cracks and what those cracks were, you're going to have to watch the show on October 1st.
Absolutely, I will. But I still would like to know that whether Insecurities, there was a sense of brotherhood between the two of you. But what was the big problem? And nobody still knows about it. And was it a difficult time for you at that time? Because you were not just losing out on a partner on the field, you were also losing out on a brother off the field.
Yeah, I think it was a very emotionally difficult time for both of us, I'm sure. I mean, from my perspective, in end of 99, I had surgery on my shoulder. Then coming right off that, we ended up splitting as a team. So there was a lot of stuff going on with me. Obviously, coming back from surgery is also, for any professional athlete, a big question mark. Will you be able to get back to that level that you were playing before? Uh, yeah, so I mean, no shortage of emotional drama, to be honest. At the same time, you were trying to play sport at the highest level, and it was tough for all of us combined.
In a recent interview, Leander has gone and said that it is very difficult to get a word out of you. You're a person who speaks less. How did you deal with that situation then? Because it was a lot of emotional trauma.
Yeah, how did I deal with it? I mean, I was I was like a volcano. I was absorbing everything I heard, and I erupted at when I couldn't take it anymore. I think a lot of times I feel when I heard things from third parties or from the newspapers, if I just picked up the phone and called Leander and clarified it directly with him, some of the issues could have been sorted a lot easier if I got the right answers. But it didn't happen, and that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess.
Yeah, and there was also a point where I have read somewhere or I've heard from people that there was a point where he also decided to change his partner, which actually caused a huge, huge showdown between the two of you. That was still at the time when you guys were playing together.
Yeah, yeah. So you're pretty well educated on some of the issues, so I think you'll enjoy the show as well.
Yeah. So no, I have actually followed it because I have never been interested in tennis, but I've only it's an Indian mentality, to be honest, to see like two Indians succeed together. And it's, of course, we could only see you guys play on the field. We didn't know what was happening off it. And I was very young that time to understand. But when I was studying all this I spoke to a few people and they told me that these were the things that caused a major, major issue.
Yeah.
After that also, you guys decided to take a break for 3 years and get back maybe around in 2008, if I'm not wrong, 2008 to 2011, you guys played again. What brought you back together? Did you guys discuss the problems? Did you guys discuss the issues? And if you did, again 2011 ke baad, you've never played together, and then today we have a show called Breakpoint. So I want to know that, did the issues crop up again?
Yeah, I mean, 2008 we came back very briefly, right? We came back because was it the Sydney or the Beijing? I think it was the Beijing Olympics, and we played 2 tournaments. I think we won very quickly. So I mean, that was 3 tournaments. But in 2011 we played the whole year again. We made the Australian Open final right off the bat. We won in Chennai. So again, we were one of the top teams in the world. So yeah, but issues didn't go away, obviously, because that ended at the end of in 2011, and we didn't play in 2012 Olympics. So yeah, I mean that we didn't learn from our previous mistakes. That's on us.
But would you like to give your brotherhood and your relationship another chance, maybe a third chance?
I mean, I think, this show in some way or form is, I think, that chance. I think, we've relived in the last 18 months, we've relived our whole journey again in so many different ways. And, hopefully there's always been that question with Leander and Mahesh of what if or why. And hopefully this show answers a lot of the questions for people who continue to ask that. I think from my perspective, I've always looked at this a little differently. I've been extremely proud of what we have been able to achieve. We achieved something in a sport that Indians never succeeded. Became world champions, became number 1, became Wimbledon champions. And, the only difference if we did stick together would have been, probably more wins to our name. If we didn't win a Wimbledon title, if we didn't win medals, I can understand a lot of frustration, but we did. Would my friends and family have loved me if I had won 2 more Wimbledons a little more? I don't think so. They would have still loved me as much as they do today. So I think, in hindsight, while hindsight is, yes, we could have done a lot of things different. Sure, we would have won more, but I think we won enough to be still extremely proud of what we achieved.
Absolutely. In the end of the trailer that we see, you say you are ready to give it another shot. But he says that no. You must have seen it in the trailer. I don't know if you've seen it. Before we watched it in the trailer, what do you have to say about that?
No, so I think he's referring to would he have done it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm extremely proud and I'm extremely, I mean, see, I've played with some of the greatest doubles players in the world, and I've won a lot of tournaments with the greatest doubles players in the world. But winning with Leander, or in my case, when I won with Sanya, is always super special because
Yeah.
you have the
Indeed.
Indian team on the court,
Yeah.
and the emotions, the adulation, the feeling it's second to none, right? It cannot be replicated. So, would I do it again? Even if someone told me you have to go through all that pain, drama, and everything again, I would probably say yes, because that was a highlight of my career.
Also, at the same time, I want to know that you got married to Lara ma'am, and did that bring a sense of normalcy? Because this was also the time when you were going through a lot of things in life, right? So, and how did they react to the whole trailer, the family?
I think they loved it. I mean, obviously they've been part of the journey the whole time. My parents and my sister are part of the show. So it was not easy reliving it for all three of them, because I mean they've kind of lived the whole story through me. Lara obviously has a more logical perspective, because we met after most of the drama had over, but so she's like you, she was only reading and hearing about it. But she's definitely helped me through the process of being in front of the camera, and trying to deal with the baggage around that, because I'm not a very camera friendly guy.
I understand that. But did you pick up a call on Leander when this show was happening? Like, did you guys speak post 2011? Did you guys discuss your relationship? And also before the show, did you pick up a call and have a word with him?
Yeah, I think our first proper chat after 2011 was when we heard that Nitesh and Ashwiny were interested in doing this story. So then obviously we got on multiple calls, not just one call, to see if we wanted to tell it, if this was the right partners. And then we got on a Zoom call with Nitesh and Ashwiny. So there was a lot of interaction because it was our decision at the end.
But is there a way where now you are not playing with him, so the professional bit of it is almost over, done away with? Personally, would you like to be friends again with him? Would you like to give back another shot?
So, I mean, I don't know what the definition of friends is. I mean, I've got friends who live in other parts of the world who I haven't seen for like 7-8 years. So, Leander and me run into each other super often because our daughters are in the same school. Our daughters are actually in the same tennis academy also. So we literally see each other every week. So when people say, would you like to be friends again? We see each other very often. So are we going to, go together on a holiday? I think that's very unlikely, but we still have that bond that we created 20 years ago that I'm sure will live on.
But when you bump into each other, do you guys not even speak to each other?
No, we speak to each other every time we meet.
Okay, lovely. But sir, I would like to see the story unfold, to be very honest, because this is something that possibly is very difficult for a celebrity to come out and speak about it. And this is a documentary. This is not a retelling. This is not a cinematized version of what has happened. So it's going to be very real. It's going to feature both of you. But any regret related to that, like any burst of anger, anything under impulse that you must have said, must have done from your end that you wish you had not done
during my career,
during the entire fight with Leander?
Yeah, of course, there are a lot of things that I wish I could take back, and he said the same thing multiple times in some interviews we did. A lot of things that he wishes he could take back, but we can't take it back. But like I said, so we try to stick with the positives and hopefully teach future generations how to deal with success. I mean, when a lot of success comes very early in life, a lot of times you don't know how to deal with the baggage that comes around it. I mean, 20 years later, today every athlete or celebrity has an entourage of 8 or 10 people dealing with 8 or 10 different aspects. We did not have that, right? Our manager was Leander's father. My coach was my father. So, I mean, at that time, it was just family. And I wish we had things like different at that time, but we didn't. So today we got to deal with that.
Last, because you said this about the baggage, I want to ask you that because it was all in the family. And when you get to know that your partner is trying to change partners, and I'm pretty sure I've heard that you never did that, is what I've heard, that you never went out and decided to change your partner or whatever. So it's also a huge blow that you feel, right, in your heart, because it's also within the family. It's not just a professional setup. It's a very personal setup. But in a professional space, when you get that blow, did you feel a sense of betrayal? Did that work in your head?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you feel hurt. I mean, in my case, I came out of college and my first partner was Leander. So I never knew any other way. I didn't play with any other players on the tour. So, if he wants to play with someone else, that's fine. I mean, I can't stop him because that's his decision. But, there was a lot of uncertainty. There was a lot of nervousness. There was a lot of hurt. I mean, so, when all those emotions kind of mix up, I mean, it could get pretty dramatic. So, yeah, for sure.
At least I feel that because you're a man of few words, a lot of times I think I'm saying a little too much, but what I've heard is that because you're a man of little words, so a lot of those decisions were also controlled by him. So you somewhere did feel that need to express your opinions, and that is what created a discord between the two of you. And then, of course, the influence of his trainer, whatever. I don't know how much of that will be delved in, but all this. So
yeah, I'm sure you'll enjoy the show.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
But after this friendship, when you decided to partner with anybody else, did you change anything in you? The fact that you never were over controlling, the fact that you never you were a man of few words. So what happens is the other person being a little more, how do I say, a little more outgoing, maybe can press their opinions on you. Did you change that when you played with others?
Not really. That's not my style off the court. I mean, on the court, I like to kind of be the leader on the court. And I think that was one of the different, possibly one of the issues that maybe Leander and me had. He was an alpha on the tennis court. I was an alpha, early in the relationship. I realized that, he liked to be the leader, and I had no problems with that because, he played much better when you allowed him to be a leader. So it was great for us. But, when I played with Max or Nosey, I always like to kind of orchestrate. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, but, and off the court, you're doing a job when you're on the court. Off the court is not my business to kind of change the narrative or tell you what to think or tell you where to eat or tell you who to partner or who to coach you or anything. That's your business, right?
But thank you, sir. And I am really, really looking forward to this one. I will definitely tell you what I think of it after I watch it.
Great. All right.
Because I've heard a lot of stories. So I also have a lot of questions in my head. And I hope we speak again after this is over, because I'm pretty sure that they're going to delve into the other part of the story. Like you said, that it's till 2008. So the portion post 2008 will be delved in another season, if I am not mistaken. So yeah, cheers to that.
Thanks. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.